Nothing like dropping frames before the intro sequence is even over. Hopefully that's just a little blip. I turned down the bitrate a bit. I know it's a little dark on screen. That does not help with the low bitrate, but the good news is we're not doing any 3 to 5 a.m. period hunting for at least a little bit. If the internet will cooperate, I shall turn it back up. How's everybody's Monday going? Hope you guys are having a slightly cooler day than I am. It is very toasty in this room. Yesterday, I deleted almost all my diamonds except for, wow, that's no good. Glinted. What's going on, Kyla? Is it cooler there? I certainly hope so. Watching from Australia at 3 a.m. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, man. That is a, probably a little less than ideal time for a stream. What are we hunting? Grizzly bear. We had that multiplayer hunt this past week, and we found an albino female. It's one of those things where just seeing the albino again made me realize I want to go get an albino male, so we're back and we're looking. We've shot 2 or 3 albino female grizzlies in single player. They have been initial spawns from like when resets have happened on this map, but I mean, you never know, maybe we can get a male to respawn as well. Worst case scenario, we're going to be going along, hopefully getting as many male grizzlies as we can. And ideally, one of these days, one will turn into an albino. We're in that period of time right now. Basically, best we can figure, it'll be like the middle of summer until we see the middle of June, not the middle of summer, until we see a new map. Generally speaking, June 20th, in that time period is when new maps come out. So we need something to do, and I think an albino grizzly grind is a good way to pass some time. What's up, Ben? Imagine reading the title. I didn't come up with a very special title. It could have been like a, ooh, hello. Let's go find that. I could have done like a very different hunt or something like that. Well, and if this is a level 9, that would just be something. What would be Kyla's favorite stream? Reading the title. Sorry, I'm a little late. Anything cool? We just shot a level 5 grizzly. I don't know if you caught that or not. That is our one only kill at the moment, but a max weight fox track is rather intriguing. They feed 3 to 7 a.m., which is now, so he should be in the area. As you can see, he's been all around here. Run. So he probably fled this direction, looks like. Oh. Hello. Ah, close. At least we're not tracking him for 12 years. We do have another species to go after. What did we hit? That's weird. Not an insta-drop, but he went down that fast? Got a piebald roadie and a diamond knocker yesterday. Nice, dude. Frames are staying steady. Alright, let's turn the bitrate back up. I think that might have been like a random little blip. Don't want it to be too blurry, especially in these low light conditions. Second diamond red fox, if only, man. Still no diamond red fox in single player. I do wonder how long that's been down here, though. Oh. Vertebrae back there, that makes sense. Not an area I would have been too much by the end of our red fox grind. I did used to check this spot, though. A bearific hunt, there you go. See, had I had more time, I wrapped up recording my classic video at about 10 after 2, had some other stuff to do, didn't really have time to come up with a creative title, just had to chuck the thumbnail together and get it going. Would have shot the fox with a 300. I like to use the proper weapon, though in that case, at best we were asking for a brain shot, which would have ruined the trophy organs anyway. I don't know why. Foxes are just scored by weight. That's a weird thing that even matters. Where did that go? Is there a list in the game that tells you what the max weight of animals are in the game? I think, actually, for weights in particular, maybe, let me see if I can find that. Wildlife. Does it always say? No. Some of these say. Yeah, like this one here. The jackrabbit, that 4.70 kg, that is the max weight for them. But because not all animals show it, we have spreadsheets in the Discord. If you want to join that, there are lists for literally every map, max weights, I think in both kilograms and pounds, as long as you can access it. Like if you're on mobile, sometimes it's a little bit weird, but anyway, it's got all kinds of information, max weights, max levels, required trophy rating for diamond, all that stuff. No, Kyla, poor pupper's down in her kennel right now. She kind of was calm about it, so I think she's getting better at chilling in there. I'll bring her up in about 40 minutes. Hopefully she'll be tired enough that she's not going to be a little crazy dog. What are your thoughts on random wheel videos for loadouts? I don't want to take someone else's idea, like I know Scarecrow does stuff like that. Randomizing loadouts in some capacity could be pretty cool, though. I know there are, like, apps for stuff like that, where you can, like, let's say we wanted to always have the random wheel give us a full loadout. It would be possible to have, like, always a Class 9 weapon, always a Class 8 weapon, etc., but who knows, we'll see. How many super rares do you have? I think 7-ish, if you don't count ducks. 2 whitetail, a moose, kudu, water buffalo, fox, maybe 6? I swear it's 7. I might be missing one. I have 19 to 22. I have a 19 to 22 level 2 pheasant on my map. Do you think it will make diamond? Well, I had that one go 20.2 at level 2. It is certainly possible. Might make it. Later, Albin. Are you the same bear? A different bear? Holy. Bottom boy, thank you for the... Are you saying it's actually 12 months and not 20, or are you just saying it's 12? Either way, thank you for the renewed membership. I appreciate you, man. How's your far too complicated for my small brain work going? Where are you, sir? I would like to shoot you. You know, for something that probably weighs in excess of 600 pounds, doing a pretty good job of hiding. Might have to move around. So, oh, there he is. What can happen with those, like the call indicators, is that they're not always exactly accurate to where the animal is. So sometimes moving around and getting a second warning call can give you a better idea of where the animal is, but just kind of spotting it works as well. Hopefully we can eventually, you know what? Let's just check around this bend. We're gonna fast travel to the outpost because it's not far, and just run up and claim him now. We'll be on that side from the rest of the run. Almost got this particular job finished up. Nice, dude. Are spirit rares bear in the game? Are spirit bears rare in the game? One of those questions. They are not. They're an uncommon. I wish they were a rare. They're one of the best fur types for brown bear that there is, but unfortunately they are not a rare. Favorite map is Layton. Apparently someone was asking that a couple times. Do you like hunting with bows? In Call of the Wild, not as much. I love it in Classic. It's my passion in real life in terms of hunting. I may have shot my buck this past year with a gun, but bow hunting is still... That's my preferred way to hunt. The reason I don't do a lot of bow hunting in Call of the Wild is that hunting in such a way that doesn't spook animals really doesn't have much of a reward, if that makes any sense. So in Classic, let's say you're calling in a whitetail buck, and you spook that whitetail buck. If it runs past any other animal, that other animal's also going to spook. In Call of the Wild, if you spook an animal past another animal, they don't care. So that's one side. The other side of it is, even when you're spooking animals with gunfire in Call of the Wild, oftentimes they return to the zone. You don't have that in Classic. If you spook animals with gunfire in Classic, they're going to run and keep on going the other direction. There's a good chance you'll never see them, unless maybe you pick up their track and follow them that way. So the incentive to hunt with a bow isn't really there in Call of the Wild for me. It's tough for me to do that. I'm very efficiency-oriented, if that makes sense. When I play Call of the Wild or Classic or whatever, I'm always trying to be efficient. I'm trying to cover ground. I'm trying to, you know, if there's 2 animals coming in Classic, I try to get the first one with a bow at a distance so I can get the second one before it spooks. All these kinds of things kind of come into play for me, and I just can't... I like bow hunting, we do it on occasion, but I can't do it regularly. What did Danny do? I missed it. I was 150 yards from killing my first ever gobbler on Saturday. Ah, man. That's how it is with them, though. They are so tough. I know you. I saw you a minute ago. our season comes in on Saturday. I feel a little underprepared, but I'm sure I'll be dealing with a lot of that as well. Reading is very difficult, I know. What are your opinions on the new map picture for Call of the Wild? Yeah, that doesn't look like Hirschfelden, does it? I thought at first that it was that, is it Schoenfeld or somewhere down in the southwest of Hirschfelden. There's a lake with a little dock and stuff, but that lake looks too big in the image. So honestly, I don't know like where that might be. It looks like a fall sort of place. So assuming that it's not Hirsch, probably, I mean, options are so open. What it's not is Africa. I know that. It does not look like Africa, so it seems my hopes and dreams of Africa 2.0 will not be happening if that is indeed a clue. But, like I said, it could be just about anywhere else. Anywhere. US, Europe, or I should say North America rather, Europe. It could be anywhere where you have leaves that turn colors in the fall, basically. Looked as much as I couldn't find it as far as like that spot being on Hirsch. What do you think the next map will be? Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of the clues so far. Assuming those are clues, and am I mistaken, or was the Call of the Wild clues chat recently reopened? Because I didn't think it was there, and I swear I saw it today. As I mentioned before, I didn't have a whole lot of time to check into things, so maybe I'm missing stuff, but that would also kind of lend itself to potentially being a hint if that's the case. Go and look and see what you think, Bottom Boy. In the official Discord, they're like weekly updates under Call of the Wild News. The last one, the image looks similar to Hirsch, but not like Hirsch. Hello. I do want another diamond moose, so if you want to be a diamond moose, I would gladly take you. You are not, though. Wouldn't you be a diamond coos deer? Look at all these small males. Wait, I saw you. No idea what it was, but I'd say we got it. Turkey opener was today, didn't even get to sit because there was some guy in my spot this morning. That's the worst, dude. I'll never forget, I was still pretty young, probably 15 years old, turkey hunting by myself. I had put a bird to roost the night before and went out, got all set up, and I probably sat too close. I was probably 60 yards away from it, but it's gobbling to every call, and I was like, all right, it doesn't know I'm here. And it gets to be 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:15. I'm like, why is this thing not flying down? Like, I can't figure why it won't get out of the tree, especially if it's all fired up at these hen calls. I finally, as it's getting light out, I realize there's two dudes, it was level 7, sitting underneath the tree that he's in. I don't know if they watched it go to roost, or if they put it to roost from a distance and just had either really bad or good luck as far as where they guessed, and ended up directly underneath it, but it wouldn't fly down, and eventually it finally just went way, way far away where it flew. Down the hill and hundreds of yards away, but that's about the only time I've ever had someone else kind of in my spot like that. Private property and all on my dad's land, but it's the way it goes. Doesn't matter, unfortunately. Private or not, people are going to try to go there. In your opinion, what is the most underrated animal in this game? That could go a lot of directions. Because as far as, like, let's say for beginners or something, blacktail might actually be it. You kind of encounter blacktail early on in your playthrough, most likely, and you might expect because of that they maybe don't give a good cash output or anything like that, but they actually are quite good for cash. So there's that aspect, but in terms of like maybe to experienced players, what animal is overlooked or not hunted that much? I think reindeer and maybe brown bear. Medved animals. I think Medved generally is not that popular of a map. I remember when Medved came out. I have a couple of videos from, you know, way back in, this would have been October-ish, 2017, where I was just running through Medved's mountains, hunting brown bears and seeing all these different fur types and just loving it. You know, all the variety and stuff with them. Their models are pretty good, I think. The variety is there, and yeah, Medved's just not that hunted. Is that pronounced like Lampe edits? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but thank you, man. Tips on hunting Cape Buffalo and Plains Bison, gun caliber shot placement. So I'd go 300, first of all. That's a pretty good bet for anything Class 9. Generally speaking, like the 470's there, but you're lacking range with no scope that you can place on it. It's got the 4-round capacity, whereas compared to the 338, which has similar power, the 338 single shot. So whether it's a poor shot where you need to follow up, or if there's 2 there, the 300 is going to be a lot better for that. And then to kind of move on to shot placement, generally anything behind the shoulder if they're broadside. Frontal can be tough, but kind of below the neck, center of the chest, you can get a hard shot. I've done that in a number of videos if you maybe check out some of my Silver Ridge Peaks content. And then I guess areas. Silver Ridge Peaks all through the marshy area, kind of in the north, is really good, and also the Crimson Plain. Or wait, what did I just say? Yukon Valley for that, not Silver Ridge Peaks. Yukon Valley's this area that I'm talking about. I can show you that on the map. Silver Ridge Peaks down in the southeast. Scarecrow would sound more like Flinter because he's older. Wait, why? I sound like Scarecrow? Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying, Kyla. I'm the original, right? The only thing I can say to sound like Scarecrow is his intro. Hello, everybody. That's it. I have some leftover coffee from this morning, Ben, if you want it. I only drank 1 cup. Where would you go for early game kills? I bought all the packs, but I've been going to all the maps trying to kill a lot of stuff, but having trouble. If you have all the packs, goose hunting. Goose hunting will get you leveled up in no time. I just made a guide for that, probably 2-3 weeks ago. Like goose hunting for beginners or something like that. Check it out. You can have a setup for extremely cheap. Actually, more or less, I think all you gotta do is buy the call, which is 6,000 in-game cash. And you can be killing geese just about immediately. Shibito high? Alright, it might be a little stale by the time it gets there, but you know, heat it up, it'll be alright. I don't know why, but I feel like it'd be fun to use the muzzleloader. I think the muzzleloader exists as a fun-to-use weapon primarily. It's got its kind of niche where, for like situations where you only need 1 shot and you want a bunch of power, is really good. I would say, as far as if you eliminate range, it's probably the best class 3 weapon there is when you use the class 3 bullets. There are 2 separate types of ammo, one of which is classes 4 to 8, one's 3 to 7, I think. That 3 to 7 ammo, if you get under 100 meters, is deadly. Black buck, axis deer, anything like that, it stands no chance. A great 1 quail? Excellent idea. Oh my god, we're dropping all the frames. I just saw that. Yikes. Let's turn down the bitrate perhaps just a little bit. Let's go to 5,500. Getting a little lighter out in game, so it won't be as difficult to deal with. Just saw your great 1 grind video. Now I get so many red deer. Thank you for the help. My pleasure. I'm glad I could help. I know, as far as like a guide for the great 1 went, it took me a while to get that out because I always felt unqualified to make a great 1 guide video if I didn't have a great 1, but finally got there. Longest kill, my longest vital hit at least, according to this thing, is 434 meters. The .00 is not accurate, by the way. If you look in your longest kill, it probably says .00 as well. They just all do that. When do blacktail drink? I think it's 16 to 2100 or 17 to 2100. It's in that late window. I feel like if they ever did a great 1 rabbit, it would have to be a jackalope. Yeah, I don't... That's one of those things. Like, say in Classic, they do the werewolf event, or they did the robids for April Fools, or the giant turkeys for April Fools. Always kind of as like a little... let's just call it an event. Call of the Wild's had tracks, like Bigfoot tracks that you can follow for certain missions. I don't know what degree of realism they want to stay with. Like, that might be something they'd rather avoid as far as adding jackalopes, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Have you ever hunted elk in real life? Not yet, but I certainly would like to. I've got, at the moment, I think 3 preference points for Wyoming elk hunting. Or maybe 4 now. I forget. But, in all likelihood, that's still... Hello. Still, like, say, 2 to 3 years away, depending. And actually, from what I've read, Wyoming preference points might be meaning less and less in the near future, which that's not going to help me either. Basically, something to do with, like, unless you go with an outfitted hunt, your odds of drawing are just not going to be as good even with the preference points. I don't know a whole lot about it. I also am going to start putting in for PA elk hunting. That also is unbelievably unlikely to get drawn for, though. They should do a great one bear with scars on his face. I think that's the move. Something unique fur type as well. Like maybe you make it like kind of almost a gray color to indicate some age. Look how happy this guy is. Just loving life. Yeah, scars, something like that would be the way to do it. Now I wonder, because the great ones generally have variety. You've got the whitetail with the different racks. You've got the red deer with at least a couple different racks, and obviously the unique fur for them. What variety do you do for a bear? Is it just multiple different fur types? That's the only thing I can figure. What would be your top new locations, like places in the world with any animal? As far as like what I'd like to see added to the game, I assume is the direction you're taking that. I want to see another Africa map. That's probably about the only major one I've got on my mind right now. And as I mentioned earlier, given the potential clue that has shown up in the official Discord, it doesn't look like Africa's the direction we're headed. Have you ever gone duck or goose hunting in real life? I've not. I was invited to, I forget, maybe both. My sister's fiance does a good bit of duck and goose hunting, and I don't remember if it was during deer season or why I couldn't go that time, but it is something I want to get into. I've got ducks and geese here. Like, we have a little creek that runs through the front yard, and it's not like I could kill a bunch, but I could maybe go and get a couple sometime, and I think that would be neat. I know geese are very good eating from what I've experienced there, and ducks are considered a delicacy all over, so, you know, why not? My friend drew a PA elk tag and killed a non-typical archery record. That's amazing. You know, I never knew that PA had monster elk like that. I knew PA got big elk, but it never occurred to me that PA has some of the biggest elk, like, in the country. And I guess the reason is, it's the same elk that are out west, but minus the predators, minus the harsh winters, and they just get giant. What's up, Joe? Weekend was good. Honestly, especially with Kyla being away, it was nice to have a couple of days where I didn't have to stream or record, because that's a little bit difficult with Shadow. At the moment, she's in her kennel. I gotta go get her in about 20 minutes. But, warm weekend. I actually, on Saturday morning, caught my first trout out of this creek. I've caught, like, dozens of creek chubs, but had a nice, probably 17, 18-inch rainbow, which was pretty cool to get that out of there. Can you still kill a great one whitetail? Yeah, they are permanent, so there will never be a time where you can't kill one, unless some major change to the game were to happen, which I don't foresee. It will always be possible. In general, what's the strongest gun? Technically speaking, it would be the 470. If we look at the ammo stats, which is indicative of how good the gun is, 100 penetration on the 470 full metal jacket bullets. If you had the soft point bullets, or whatever they're called, they have 100 expansion as well, so it's like a max in that stat. Nice, Burden. That one was definitely the biggest that I've caught out of a creek. There was one at like a sportsman's club pond that I caught when I was 16-ish. They had the first month of trout season was kids only, under 18 only, which was really cool. I caught like a 19 or 20-inch rainbow out of there, but that's, you know, thousands of fish put in a pond that's probably not big enough to support that many fish, so not quite as special. Alfie, thanks for the super chat, man. Hope you're having a great day as well. It's been a pretty good day for me. I've been fairly productive, I feel like. I have not killed a bear in real life. However, we did have a bear come through the property the night before I took Kyla to the airport, so like a week ago. I found his tracks in the snow. I might buy a bear tag this year in case he comes by. I don't know. That's some deep thinking there, Danny. I would argue the 454 is better than the 454. I would argue as well that it's better. But in terms of what's the strongest, the 470 probably packs a little more punch. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming. I'm not only on Twitch, as you can see. Well, I'm glad you could stop by here on YouTube as well. Certainly appreciate it. Small female solo fox. Can you make a video with the OBS settings for streaming or recording Call of the Wild? I might see if I can come up with a way to generalize it, because everybody's system's going to be different. Like I record in a pretty high bitrate, but if I had a lower end PC, I'd lower my bitrate because it's not extremely necessary to have it as high as it is. Yeah, maybe I can come up with something like that though. Did you ever get that coyote on your property? I did not. I tried. Unfortunately, my kind of inexpensive method to attempt to call him in, aka like a Bluetooth speaker, and some coyote calls was not effective. Maybe, I don't know if you can hunt them during turkey season at night, because usually any, like, open season you can't hunt coyotes at night, but if I can kill a turkey and maybe I can throw its, you know, carcass out afterwards, if I don't get it mounted, that might be a way, because I know they really like the ducks. There's one of the neighbors has, I don't know how many ducks, but a bunch of ones that they have their wings clipped, which just is unfortunate, because I found like 6 dead ones that the coyotes are getting, but I assume they'd like turkeys too. What about my desk? I did clean off my desk actually, but I'm trying to figure out. Oh, do you ever plan on doing a setup tour? My current plan is so my brother does, this is a long-winded story, my brother does like European mounts and stuff for people with their bucks, and he also makes the plaques that go with them. So he did a European mount of my 2019 buck. I have that, and then I also have, I don't know if you've ever heard of Mountain Mike's reproduction skulls, but it's just a plastic fake European mount that's a lot easier to do. I have one that was done with that, but I don't have a plaque for it. So I want him to make me a plaque for that. I will pay him, obviously, in case you're worried about that. And I'm waiting for him to do that. And then I'll have the 5 bucks that I want to have on this wall back here. Then I'll do the setup tour. I want to have it completely done. Slurp the Gurr. No you. Waiting on my deer mount for 6 months now? I would say that's fine. Generally speaking, like, it depends on when you shot it. If you've been waiting for 6 months, I'm gonna guess you shot it in November-ish. If you shot it with a bow, maybe you could get it back in 6-7 months, but a lot of times, like in my case, I won't be shocked if I gotta wait till November to get mine back. I can show off your Jurassic Park stuff. That's your setup, though. That's not mine. You can hunt Wyoming elk with your 4 points next year without issue. It's way easier than most think. Hey, absolutely, Dave. Are you in Discord? I can message you there or something to figure that out. Now, the tough thing is, if I wanted to go with a group, I don't know anyone with more than like 2 points, so like that would drive our average way down. But yeah, definitely something I want to look into, especially if the preference point situation is kind of happening, where like you need to go outfitted to be able to make use of them more or less. That's something I'd like to go and get that done before that happens. Favorite deer to hunt in real life? Definitely whitetail. I've never gotten to hunt mule deer or anything else. That's something else I do have preference points for in Wyoming though, so hopefully sooner rather than later I can make that happen. But yeah, I mean, it's always going to be whitetail. Even you know, down the road when I've experienced mule deer hunting or any other kind of deer hunting, I am certain it's going to remain whitetail. I've spent about 15 years hunting them now, and just the amount of respect for how tough they are, how smart they are, the way that they go about their business. You know, watching the buck that I shot this past year do his thing, you know, 180 inches of antlers, just out there moving super slow and cautious. It was so cool to watch. I know that there's some other potentially more majestic species of deer or whatever, but it's always going to be whitetail for me. Welcome back, Bottom Boy. What's up, KW? Favorite deer, also whitetail. Is the 454 worth grinding handgun score for? It's a very effective water buffalo and Cape buffalo weapon. Like, if they go to charge you, it can be really, really nice to have that. Is it worth grinding for? It depends on what point in the game you're at. I would say that if you are kind of more starting out, I'd worry about other things, and then maybe when you get to, I don't know, mid-40s for level, or maybe even a bit higher, then you're kind of reaching that point where it's time to maybe start branching out. Then I'd worry about unlocking the 454. For Plains Bison is 30 the lowest score. Actually, ironically enough, 12 is the minimum score for Plains Bison. I shot one time, and I was very pleased. What was the gun you used for your first whitetail kill? It was a Rossi 243. I don't know exactly what that model of 243 was. Somebody has told me. It's a very non-creative name. So, it was a... You bought the gun and it had 3 different barrels. It had a 243 barrel, a 22 barrel, and a 410 barrel. And that was perfect for us as kids because, you know, Dad would take us squirrel hunting, so we'd have the 410 barrel, deer hunting with the 243 barrel, and groundhog and stuff with the 22. So, obviously shot the deer with the 243. I was trying to figure. I thought I shot 3 deer with that gun all these years, but I think it's actually only 2. I'm pretty sure it's only 2. Had to order 500 tons of stone for a project, only cost $16,000. I've got, like, I would assume 1 or 2 tons of stone here, so I assume it's really not worth my time to try to sell it, if that's what it was worth. Should look at the history of whitetail deer and how they were driven to near extinction. I'm not sure I know much about that. Who's getting in trouble? Late stream? This is the normal time. Big mule deer are similar. There's a reason they're called the gray ghost. I hunt both muleys and whitetail. They're so cool in different ways. Wait, I thought coos deer were gray ghosts. Are mule deer also called gray ghosts? Knowing, and I don't know a lot, but knowing what I do know about mule deer, I can imagine them being very similar. Kind of stand up out of their bed, feed maybe like 50 yards max, and then go back into hiding. I'm trying to figure... Oh, Shadow's taller than me? Yes. In like 10 minutes when I go get her out of her kennel, I'll have a picture of her on screen for my little be right back thing, because I'm probably going to run her outside for like 2 minutes, just in case. I'll also stream for the couple extra minutes that I'll lose by doing that. You think moose are still in New Zealand? As far as I'm aware, there's... I don't know if it's a bug or not. JaxyBeard said to somebody on stream that the moose spawn on New Zealand is the rarest spawn possible. I'm still not entirely convinced that it isn't a bug. But they can end up being there. Also heard of kudu being called the Grey Ghost. Perhaps it's not entirely unique then. A couple of bears. There's a 5. 1. Another 5. So that's far enough. I think they're far enough apart that if we take this shot, the one on the left, goodness gracious, that was some excellent target acquisition. I think the one on the left's going to be too far to actually hear that shot. Yeah, he's just chilling. Oi, you doofus, get out of here. If it ain't Shadow, it's Sir 12, I tell you. That was you? Oh, there you go. Useful when the person I'm referencing is in stream. What are the maps with the different turkeys? I want to get my own Grand Slam. So as of now, technically as far as Grand Slams go, we're one species short. There are 3 species of turkey across 4 maps. Merriam's turkey are on Silver Ridge Peaks and Te Awaroa. Rio Grandes are on Rancho, and Easterns are on Mississippi. Don't call the dog a doofus. Be sweet to Sir 12. Sir 12 doesn't deserve it. He's mean to me. That happens to me as well, Bottom Boy. Is something about, at least for me, like when I'm spotting for animals, I'm always looking for, you know, that almost the word. Either that, like you see it all caps medium, all caps legendary, all caps very easy. Basically every other word that's in there, from trivial to minor to the for 4 easy is there, but most of them don't have the E. So when I see the capital E in any of those levels, for just a second my brain's like, ah, that's a good one. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's a bear and it's a silver. Were you around, Danny, for that Twitch stream? There were a couple of guys that were saying they were going to report me to PETA for a streaming call a while. I was like, oh, these poor pixels, what are they ever going to do? What's up, Caleb? We had a mythical red fox, actually, was the only really interesting kill thus far. Maybe 1 or 2 gold grizzlies to this point. Have you ever went hunting for a stika deer? I have not, but I'd like to. Stika deer as well, actually, I really want to go after. What state do I live in? Pennsylvania. You were there? Okay, I thought you might have been because I knew you've been around Twitch for quite some time. Have you killed a mellow grizzly bear? I've had 2 or 3 females, never a male. I really prefer the albinos, at least as far as like the trophy lodge look and stuff. But if we got a gold melanistic, I'd probably cut the grind there and be happy with that. They look really cool. It's just the albinos have that. They have that factor that I talk about so often with moose and Cape Buffalo and stuff. When you get a big animal in this game that's albino, they just look stunning every time. I live in the state of constant fear of what, being reported to PETA again? Maybe that's something to worry about. Been grinding for a million gold whitetail. I got 3 great ones, and all my mellows are level 1s. What the heck? That's insane. I mean, 3 great ones isn't a bad deal, but I would have guessed you would have gotten a better mellow by now. Of course, on my great one grinds, I've never shot a melanistic buck. I've gotten 2 in multiplayer. I got 2 in multiplayer on the same day, one of those being a gold. And I also had a melanistic right after Truax came out, because I think they did a pop reset for whitetail and blacktail on Layton. Yeah, in my grinds, I've never had a mellow. Have you ever been reported to PETA? Not that I'm aware of. Maybe those guys that were trying to report my stream, but I'm pretty sure shooting pixels is fairly harmless. Got my great one whitetail within 50 kills. That's pretty solid luck, I'd say. Oh, that is unfortunate, Leland. Quite unfortunate. Clue chat is open on Discord. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit ago. In my opinion, that kind of goes back to the Call of the Wild news section of the Discord. That image that looks kind of like Hirschfelden, but I'm pretty sure that's not an area of Hirschfelden. I don't really know what can be figured out beyond that, because as I was saying earlier, it can be anywhere, basically. It looks to be a fall-based map, if it is, in fact, a clue towards a new map, and if the clues chat's open, I assume. So that can, I mean, that could be anywhere in North America, Europe. If the leaves change in the fall, it could be there. Do you still enjoy this game? I do. It's stuff like this, honestly, too. Like, I've been in a bit of a state of limbo since shooting my great one, which was in March, I think. Just kind of like not sure what I wanted to do. Nothing specific really had my attention. Like, going for a rare rooster pheasant, sure, but that's one of those things where it really just is very repetitive type of content, which I don't like to do. So when I kind of realized that maybe an albino grizzly could be a fun thing to hunt for, that's the type of thing that gives my motivation back to really put in the time in this game. Graphic settings just ultra preset. Are we dying frames wise? Excuse me, stream. How about we don't die, please? Frames, come back. Hold on. I'll lower the output again. I don't want you to die. Does that fix it? Uh-oh. Okay. We're gonna walk for a little bit. Hopefully let the internet chill out. It's so hot that the internet lines are melting. That's probably not the case, but I'm going with it. I kind of enjoy eating cheese. I kind of enjoy eating cheese too. Will you make a video when the new waterfowl come out? The waterfowl rework? I mean, I'm certain I will. It's going to be an update of some kind. I'm not aware of new waterfowl, though. Cheese. Are you still streaming on Sundays? At the moment, no. If Shadow kind of, as she gets a little bit older, maybe relaxes during streams, I'd like to bring the Sunday streams back, most likely Farming Sim 22. But as of now, getting the 3 streams during the weekend are difficult enough, especially when Kyla's away. Kyla's in Georgia right now. So taking care of Shadow on my own during the streams and stuff is quite difficult. Currently she's in her kennel, but I'm going to go and get her in about 5 minutes. Hopefully she'll be relaxed by then. But yeah, she's just a little too energetic, barky and stuff, and for anybody watching with headphones, her little yippy high-pitched barks are just not good on the ears, so we're gonna kind of keep on going with 3 streams a week for now. It's your fault? No, it's not your fault. I wouldn't stream on Sundays while you're here either. Alright, we're gonna go a little higher with the bitrate. I just ran a speed test on the side, and it's definitely not doing the best. 90 here in upstate New York? My thing says 77, but I do not believe that. I think it's 82 or 3, if not higher. There's the other shadow, but it's a cat? A cat shadow? Oh goodness, my poor microphone. Didn't deserve that. Okay, so I don't want to go to these lakes yet. I'm going to wait till I go and get Shadow for that, because it'll probably take the full hour, or half hour rather, to run through during their drink time. Let's go and see what's up here. We'll go a couple of quick spots, because I'm going to get her out of her kennel at 3:45. How many diamonds do you have? That is a good question. 800 and something. As soon as we load in here, we'll take a look. 885. So the number that's shown here is incorrect. All these numbers outside of the actual harvest total is incorrect. Basically, in March of 2021, they tried to implement a Great One counter, and it did not go well. Basically, golds got counted as diamonds, silvers got counted as golds, diamonds got counted as Great Ones. The whole thing's messed up, so little unfortunate. Hey, thanks, Jacob. Have you ever missed a deer in real life? Oh, yes. I missed one this past year. It's actually not, unfortunately, going to make it into a video because I didn't have it on film. It was like behind the tree, and I thought I got the camera around far enough, but I didn't get, literally nothing is filmed of that. Shot over that one's back. I've missed a couple of deer I actually eventually shot. I missed my 7-point when I was like 15 or something. I missed it once and then got it. I did that with a doe when I was 12. There was one year I missed like 4 deer. I just couldn't hit anything. Sometimes that happens. I'd rather be 40 so I'm staying inside for the rest of the week. I need to get some sort of air conditioning system here, because I can't just use window units, because then I can't run them when I'm streaming or recording because it's just far too loud. So I'm kind of out of luck till I hopefully get something. Central air sort of vibe. What is the best map for grinding in your opinion? It depends on what you're grinding. Aurora, because of the amounts of fallow deer you'll see in chamois in places, can be really good, and red deer for that matter. You're my favorite content creator? Well, I'm honored to have that role. Did you ever get the bug 10 fabled caribou? I did, actually. A female one. So basically that bug, and I only know this because somebody posted a screenshot of, actually I think it was all the above. I think he was in the server of somebody that was hacking or something, and he had a 10 fabled elk. And basically, because this was pre-Truax, we were able to see, based off the score estimate, that its score was above what the maximum should have been. I think 404 was the max score for elk back then, and it was like 500 something. So I think the way the game was treating it was, if the animal score was above what should have been the max, it was making them be level 10. And caribou and reindeer, as I recall, had a situation where they could go above like the old max or something when they got their true axe. I think that was part of it. So it ended up being a thing. Reindeer and caribou could be level 10 for a while there. I think you actually... Did you get the Great One medal if you shot them? I don't recall. But it was quite a weird little situation when that was happening. What the heck is happening? Why are there max weight fox over my map after I quit grinding? This one better be a 9. I'm ready. Let's get it. Who keeps tweeting messages? Pretty sure it's that Danny fellow over there. He's a shady character. You should look that direction. People just love to spam today. It's one of those super hot, sweaty days. Just cause the spam. It's a 7. Listen, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. Oh boy. Is this where his feed zone at, or what's he doing all this for? Oh yeah. Alright, so he shouldn't be far off either. Hopefully he can be as quick as the last one. I don't know if that's wind whistling through the trees. It sounds very odd. Why is it always you? Because I looked over in the chat and yours was the first name that I saw. You have a longer name, so it stands out easier. What's up, Mel? You have come in at an interesting time. We are on a max weight red fox track, if we can figure out where the heck he is. He's got to be right here close. We just have to figure out what direction he went from his zone. Because, much like the last one that we saw earlier, their zone runs till 7, so he's got to be near. We shot that Grizzly, so maybe he ran like this direction? That could be feasible. Not looking like it. Walk. Walk. I didn't pick this up yet. A diamond albino fox? It does say dark red. I would love a super rare red fox. I mentioned that. Was it when we were on Yukon? Not too long ago I talked about it. Just because we have the super rare gray fox, it would be pretty neat to have a super rare red fox to go with it. Tell you what. If we can't find it anyway right now, what I might do, because we know where his feed zone is, let's do another little lap here and see if we can find a track, because I'd much rather just kind of track him down when we're potentially close. If we can't find him though, I'll run downstairs and get Shadow out of her kennel, and maybe the fox will just be back. Not seeing nothing. Oh really, Mel? That's cool. It's almost like he just isn't here. The time is correct. Now I know we reset the time. That can cause some weirdness with animals in their zones. Generally not in single player. Generally single player is fine. The only thing I can maybe figure is that disturbed veg over here that we can't pick up. That could be a direction he's fleeing in and it's just not showing for us. I just saw something. Might have just been that little stick. Kind of a small thing in that direction. Alright. Let me go and get Shadow then, because I don't want her to get down there. She gets super anxious in her kennel, so she's probably going to end up throwing up, if she hasn't already. We'll just kind of hide here. Maybe the fox will come past, maybe it will not. You guys will probably see it, and I'll be AFK. TJ, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I have a challenge for you. Instead of doing a Call the Wild realistic hunt, do a Call the Wild style hunt in real life, sprint around yelling where deer. That's a grand idea. I should do that in the summer or something. Yeah, Kyla does do that already. Did you change the time? I did. Alright. I'll go get Shadow. I will be right back. Be sure to spam that the fox walked right in front of me, even though you won't be able to see, because that. Alright, I'm gonna take her outside, so I'll be like 3 extra minutes. Like I said earlier, if you weren't here, I will also stream the 3 extra minutes after 5 o'clock, the normal ending time. I will be right back. I am not optimistic this is going to go well. She is pretty awake. But maybe her little peanut butter lick pad thing will give her enough time. So I discovered something. Interestingly enough, my headset pretty much still has a connection outside. So I never heard any fox footprints or footsteps. I don't imagine it's actually walked past while I was gone, but I suppose it's possible. So that's the old tracks. All of that is old. That's so odd. A level 9 mellow fox went right in front of me. That's impressive you guys were able to spot it and know that it was a 9 without me being here. You can take Shadow. She's just a little excited. She wanted nothing to do with going outside, by the way. All she would do was jump up at me and try to, like, tag me or whatever, so that wasn't working. Albino level 9? Is it a level 9? It's a max weight fox, that's all we know. A great one albino grizzly ran by. Wow. It ran by so fast you couldn't hear it. Did I get this track before? I don't think so. Very old still. Maybe I did. I think that's the one I picked up before. It just wasn't showing. Nothing yet, Drake. This is actually the second max weight red fox track we've randomly stumbled upon while out here, though. Just can't figure out where the heck it is. Oh, that's... I see. So that's a midnight to 3 a.m. feed zone. Which means probably when we reset the time back to whatever it was, 5 a.m., it probably warped to wherever it's actually supposed to be. So it may be best to just come back here in a bit. What we can actually do, and maybe this will be the move, is go and hunt grizzlies for the next 10 minutes till their drink time's over. Then reset the time to, say, like 2:30 a.m. Grizzly bears start drinking at 3 anyway. So we could go and look for the fox, hopefully get it, and then just go straight to grizzlies after that. Since I've been away for a couple minutes, let's run a speed test and see. I'd like to turn the bitrate back up. Internet's been struggling today, but I know for certain lower bit rates, especially for a night stream, is not good. It can be a little blurry. Hope you guys enjoy that PC fan just screaming, by the way. It is toasty. It should get less toasty in here now that the window's open. The window's open. The door's open because Shadow's in here with me now, but no promises. Alright, let's go find hopefully somewhere else to get a Grizzly. The first max weight one ended up being a level 8. 12.3 I think. It was a small mythical. I asked you if you changed the time. Yeah, I said I did. Dingo. You can't hear it? Huh, good. I don't know why that super chat is taking its sweet time to show up. But either way, Bryson, thank you for the super chat. Just curious what your favorite truck brand is if you have one. I drive a Ford, so I guess by default it's Ford. I'm aware of the debate or whatever you want to call it. Everybody has their preference for a truck, and those debates can get pretty silly. Like, if my Ford gets me from A to B, it does fine. I know there's the everybody's gonna have their own favorite, and they like to argue which is the best, but as long as it gets me where I'm trying to go, it's the best for me. I just started a war. I know, I shouldn't have answered that. A Chevy? Chevys aren't bad. None of the trucks, like I said, there's no truck where I'm just like, oh, why would you ever drive one of those? I know a lot of people that are kind of more on that side, and I think that's silly. Ford stands for Found on Road Dead. One of my classmates in high school, his dad was a cop, and he was a big Ford guy. But he saw that joke or meme or whatever, the Found on Road Dead thing, and he just thought that was the funniest thing forever, even though he drove Fords. He just thought that was the best. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Shadow's Toy Fun, thank you, dude. Tell you what, I'll if I can remember, I'll take a picture of her little duck toy. Hopefully, after the stream. It's currently headless and eyeless, and she's just destroyed it. Snakehead, thank you as well for the super chat. I think it'd be funny to do of a Call of the Wild style hunt IRL and end up getting something. The way that I would do it, did you ever watch a show called Jimmy Big Time? It's a, it went off the air pretty quick because, like, the Outdoor Channel or whoever thought that it gave hunters a bad name. It was satire. But basically, they filmed his actual hunts. He shot a giant non-typical deer, like the not silly satire version. So they used that film of his big non-typical, and the way they edited it, like it comes in, he draws back, it's all intense, and he shoots the tree like 3 feet in front of them. Arrows sticking in it, but obviously they're filming the tree. And then I think they did show the deer running away, like just, you got to see the tail or something, but you couldn't tell it had been shot. So they filmed it in such a way to make it look like he's just the biggest doofus, and, you know, he acts all funny after he shoots the deer and stuff, but that's the way I would probably attempt to do it. Use actual hunting footage and then do some reshots of like the Call of the Wild version. Heck, I could even overlay the overlay? What is wrong with me? Overlay the inventory. We're grabbing the 3030 today. The new duck? No, the old duck. The new duck's, actually I put that in her kennel for her to chew on while I was up here, but I don't think she messed with it. She did good, by the way. So when we first would start putting her in her kennel, she would grab the bars and like scoot her weight back and forth, and she could scoot the kennel probably like, I don't know, 6-8 feet across the floor. I don't think she moved it today. She just sat there, chilling. What's your real name? My given name's Thomas, but nobody calls me that. I'm a junior, so it's TJ generally. 4 Eagles found off-road rescuing Duramaxes. See, this is what I'm talking about. Just never ends. well, Master. Yes. Now, the new duck from Easter is just legless. It's still fine other than that. Just a whole party in here. That one's a male, ain't it? Did they change it to where, like, the gray-brown ones are the males? Because it almost seems that way. I always felt that it should have been that way, so I hope that's what they've done, but maybe it's just been luck. Are there any regulations on hunting starlings here in PA? I don't know for certain. I remember being told that starlings are an invasive species, in which case there's probably next to no regulation if that is the case, but I would confirm that they are invasive before going after them. Looks like we're not dropping any more frames, so it's 6:58. I think we will maybe, do I have a tent anywhere that would maybe let us smoke one more bear? I guess we could run here real quick. And then we're going to make it like 2:30 a.m. and go look for that fox. Snipe them starlies. I shot a couple with my pellet gun back in the day. There were only a couple birds that my dad would let me shoot. Like blue jays used to steal the corn real bad, which I don't think you're technically allowed to shoot those, but statute of limitations or something. Yeah. Starlings were one that he said we could shoot. I think because of that invasive thing. How's the hunting out in PA usually? It depends on the location. Like, the public land in PA is pretty rough. It's not called the Orange Army for nothing. Lots of hunters. Lots of shooting as well. If you can get to a less hunted area, the hunting's pretty good. I mean, the bucks aren't generally what you see in, say, like Iowa or Ohio or Illinois or anything like that, but we can get some big deer. I shot a gross green score 180 this past year, but it's still not like what I call whitetail paradise, the states I mentioned, Missouri, anything like that that's got just a reputation for having huge deer. Calling Peter to say that you're killing animals again? Come on, man. I didn't do it. It amazes me how quickly she goes through that. Like, there's not even that much peanut butter. It's a little silicone. I think it's actually a chocolate mold, but a little bit of peanut butter at the bottom, and then all filled with ice. And she is like 80% done, and she's been here for 10 minutes. What about squirrels in Call of the Wild? So we've talked about squirrels quite a bit. A lot of people have been like suggesting them or asking for them for a long time. What's tough about it, and I always show this, I don't know if these trees will work, but they might. So we can see the trunk of that tree there, right? 28 meters away. As I go up the trunk, you keep seeing 28 meters. We'll eventually reach a point here if this tree is like others in Call of the Wild, which actually looks like it is not. Oh, there we go. No. It might have the hitbox all the way up. So a lot of trees. This one clearly is not an example of that. Maybe this one with no branches is. A lot of trees don't have a full hitbox. It's just kind of like you can see it, but you can shoot right through it if that makes sense. Now, if they did, say, red squirrels, or pine squirrels as they're often called, trees such as this would work because they have hitboxes the entire way up. Branches generally still do not have a hitbox, and obviously squirrels should be able to climb on such branches, but I don't know, maybe that could work. I wasn't aware there were any trees that had a hitbox all the way to the top. Your buck this year was a buck of a lifetime for sure? Oh yeah. The fact that, I'm here on this property where his genetics have no doubt spread for, I'm gonna guess 6+ years. I don't know how old he is. I gotta get him aged yet. I still have that bottom jaw to do that, but I'd like to think I at least have a chance one day of getting one maybe in that area again, but even if not, I'm more than happy to go back to shooting 110, 120 inch deer again. Mainly for me, it's always been about like chasing a mature deer. I've always wanted big bucks, obviously, but I've never turned down a 5.5-year-old deer or a 4.5-year-old deer because it's not 150 inches, Hey, Fen, thank you for the super chat. Where should the new map be, and what animals would you like to see come? So, what's interesting is, there seems to be some sort of hint or clue in the official Discord, which honestly, at the moment, it's kind of left me baffled. To me, it looks like it could be anywhere in North America or Europe or anywhere that the leaves turn color in the fall. It looks to be like a temperate kind of environment. But other than that, I don't know. And I'm not even 100% sure that it's not Hirsch. I'm pretty sure it's not Hirsch, but could it be an area that I'm not familiar with? Definitely. But if that is a hint towards a new map, then I don't even know where to go because I'm not sure what that area could be. What is the worst shot you made on an animal in real life? Let me think. There was one. I was in a ground blind, and I've probably never bow hunted out of a ground blind since. I don't know if you're familiar with hub blinds, but they fold up into like almost like an umbrella sort of, and then they pop out like an umbrella would. So they've got the fiberglass bars on all sides, and they block just little bits of the window. Hi, Shadow. And what happened was the deer stopped perfectly behind this window, and I did my little meh thing to stop it. So it knows I'm there now. I can't just wait. It's looking at me. So I have to lean past this bar, and that action of leaning caused my shot to go high and back. I actually think it may have killed the deer quickly, but we couldn't find it. The blood kind of stopped showing up pretty quick. I think there's a chance it sliced the artery under the spine, but I think there would have been more blood. That's the worst I can think of. It bugs me that like it was that type of situation where I had to lean around the thing. I probably should have known not to shoot, but I was 15 or something. Lesson learned. Hunting Sim 2 is speciesist? What does that mean? Become my second great one whitetail today? Nice. Alright, so rather than just spook it, why don't we take our time walking in here? Oh no, we're dropping frames again. YouTube, why? Why don't you love me? I need to find the first half of your thing, Ben. Wait, we did find it. I'm trying to figure out what you did find. Can you do a duck hunt in a later video? I was thinking about duck hunting in Classic sometime soon with the potential for a waterfowl rework coming up, but I probably won't duck hunt in Call of the Wild until that is. I just saw him. That's got to be him. No! Get back here. He's not fleeing. He's feeding. Please. Not because we need one so bad, but because I want to have an ending to my single-player grind. I don't even have to... Do I have the call? I don't. How dumb. He's mating calling and everything. What a champ. Okay, so... probably what we do then is just scoot ourselves in good and close and attempt to alert them to get them to stand still. Because as you can see, when they're feeding, they do a whole lot of moving around and it's very risky. Not something that I'd like to risk, especially when it's so unlikely to see. 11 to 14 doesn't... All that guarantees is that he's not huge. But that was the estimate of our other diamond, so I'm not too worried seeing that. Troll him? What is this? Hopefully it makes max estimate. I'm hopeful. It would be rough if we got trolled by another single player fox. So for those of you that maybe weren't around last June? Is that when we got it? I was doing a red fox grind in single player on Yukon Valley, and basically on a stream, a YouTube stream and everything, we finally got a level 9 to spawn. We knew that Rancho, I think, was coming out in just a couple days, and I was really wanting to get this grind done before the new map dropped, and that fox trolled us. I ended up, out of pure determination, going back into multiplayer the next day, and just, I mean, every server I could get a hold of that was Red Fox Drink Time, I was hunting it. And I did get a diamond that next day in multiplayer, but I haven't gotten that single player diamond from this grind, so I kind of want to just wrap it up if this guy can make it. That grind was nuts at you. It was, I mean, like 800 Fox nearly, 750 or something. And I never did get a diamond, but maybe... And the funny thing is, this guy's probably been there since. Maybe this could be it. Which skill or perk lets you spot animals with a scope? That is a skill. If you're in your skills, you go to the top of the ambusher tree tier 2, sight spotting. One of the necessary, I'll call it, perks in my mind. Lag! Oh dear, yeah, we're lagging good. Please, stream. Don't be laggy for the thing. It's cool things. We need to have good, not laggy streams. I'm trying to turn down the bitrate to attempt to fix that. I hear footsteps or something sketching me out. I think it's my dog. Alright. Hopefully that's resolved the lag a little bit. It might not be the clearest, but it'll be a little better. Game crashes. At least it's single player. I can go back and get them, right? Average salary by month in the US? I have no idea. That was a long grind, too. If I remember right, Hatchy, I started it right after I shot the Diamond Musketeer on Medved, so it would have been in February. And it ran all the way till, like, whatever that was, June-ish. It might have been more like May, because I went to Georgia right before Rancho came out. Not enough? There you go. What are we hitting with? The only Red Fox weapon I have is the 243. I mean, I was, obviously, from the title and thumbnail, I was planning on hunting Grizzly Bear today, so I didn't bring much for Fox. It's a little alarming. Okay. Stay hidden. So now, because he's running around us, we know he is. We kind of need to wait till he shows up. Is that him? I hear something. Yeah, I hear him. Somewhere kind of straight ahead. Let's get to this next tree. Maybe. If I could get eyes on him, I'll happily alert him and take the shot, but I just can't see. We'll just keep on scooting up. Do you have every single DLC? I do. Are brown Cape Buffalo rare? They're actually more of a common than anything now. Unfortunately. I wish they were a bit more of a rare. Ugh, sounds like we're getting real close. Okay, hidden again. Stand up. There he is. Okay. Keep him spotted, hopefully. Alright. Get alert. Where'd you go? Man, he's fast. Okay, you're supposed to be difficult. Like, you should see me. Please? Can you notice me? I don't like this. Just go alert. Do something. Whatever. Don't just shoot you there. God. That was giving me severe anxiety. I don't know why he never went alert. It's supposed to be a difficult species. Alright. Try for a hard shot? I think it was a hard shot. Question is, big enough or not? Yes! A Diamond Red Fox in single player, only a year late. No big deal. He's actually, if I'm not mistaken, he's about the same score at 14.3. Or there might be 14.1. But a much better weight at 14.5. 26 meters away. Bizarre. Well, that's one way to get something cool. Live stream Diamond Red Fox, not something we've done very many times. Thank you, Mel. Heart and double lung. That was so weird he wouldn't go alert, but at least he, like, stood still. He was sketching me out, and I was afraid because I've had this happen before. Sometimes when they won't go alert and then you finally get them to, really quick, it's attentive, alert, alarm, gone. So I was trying to get that shot when he stood there. Get the Diamond Fox when you're not looking for it. I mentioned that, was it for Rancho, I think, this past weekend, for the video that we did? we keep on having these crazy stream kills. We had the Bighorn Sheep over on Silver Ridge Peaks and Albino. We had a max weight diamond chamois last week on YouTube. And then just there's a diamond red fox chilling on our Yukon map. Like, as much time as I'm spending in multiplayer as of late, I think I need to seriously get on single player and spend more time, because there's all kinds of cool stuff out here. Thank you, Zero. 14+ million? Yeah, I've got 5,277 hours and 43,000 harvests. It adds up. Big mail. It's pretty cool mail, I gotta say. Did not think we'd be seeing that. 2 max weight red fox today. You know, I never had that once during my entire grind for them. Never once did I find 2 max weight foxes in the same run, or same day for that matter. I did not see your super chat. Sorry about that. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the super chat. Polar bears on Medved. Would it be realistic? If it would be, I think it could be a cool idea. They have it in Classic. Bottom Boy, thank you for the diamond super chat and sticker. I appreciate you, man. Hey, look, another fox. Grind for a super rare. Now it's too high. Right in the vertebrae. So I don't know if grizzly bears can drink here or not, but basically what we're gonna do is head across to these lakes, and I guess I have a tent over there, but worth checking this spot too. Yes, that's the plan, David. 338 only hunt. And now that's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to hopefully not end up doing the same thing that I did on Layton and finding an albino rabbit right at the beginning. Why are you whining, Shadow? What? I ate all my peanut butter. I need something else to entertain me. How many hours on Call of the Wild? 5,277 is what my Steam says. Going pretty good, Gordon. We just shot a diamond red fox in single player. If I'm not mistaken, that is my only diamond red fox in single player ever. Outside of the beginner series, the original beginner series, in 2019, 2018, whatever that was. I did shoot one on my, level 5 account or whatever I was, but that doesn't count to me. That's not even the same save file. So, cool to finally get one in single player. We've had a couple of diamonds, but I do think that improves our multiplayer diamond that's in the lodge, so we'll have to put that in there when we're done. What do you think about the Way of the Hunter? I'm excited to see what that brings. To me, it looked like a better Hunting Sim 2, and I know that might not sound like the biggest compliment, but I actually thought Hunting Sim 2 did a lot of stuff right, which is why I gave it as much attention as I did. I probably did half a dozen videos or more on it, probably closer to 10. The weapon system in Hunting Sim 2 was well done, as far as, like, you pick the... How do I want to say it? You pick the model for your gun, and then you choose the caliber. Does that make enough sense? I thought the dog mechanics could have been better, but the hunting mechanics weren't bad. It's just that the animal models were so poor in that game, you just couldn't stick with it. Way of the Hunter animal models look good enough that they should be, like, replayable. Because once you see all the animals in Hunting Sim 2, that's kind of it. I think the Way of the Hunter ones are good enough that it won't be like that. We just shot a diamond red fox desert. 5 minutes ago. She's being a good girl, Kyla, laying under my desk now. She hasn't even gotten her Kong treats, which is probably fine. She doesn't need that much peanut butter, but maybe I'll give it to her while I'm editing or something later. Or actually, I don't know who all is coming over. At least my mom and dad are after this stream at some time, so perhaps that'll be a good thing to distract her with if we're eating. Why not put that fox multi-mount with the gray fox super rare? Yeah, that's my plan. Maybe I'll take down... Ooh, no I won't. So I was going to take down the other bobcat, but I just remembered that we now have... Ew, God. I just realized Shadow set that severed duck toy head on my lap. Anyway. We only have one diamond bobcat and then a melanistic bobcat displayed. I don't want to take that down. I don't know if I have anything else to take down. I wouldn't mind displaying 2 diamond red foxes. They're quite rare. She definitely misses Kyla. a lot of times she'll wake me up pretty early, the dog that is, and I'll take her outside and stuff, and she'll run back and jump in bed with Kyla, and I'll go work on videos and stuff. The last couple of mornings, we go outside, and then she runs back in bed, and it's like, where's my mom? Nobody's here. How old is Shadow? She'll be 6 months in about 2 weeks. Snakes in Call of the Wild? I think it could work. Are snakes ever really hunted in that sense, though? I feel like they're... You'd almost be looking at like a Dangerous Hunts, the Cabela's games sort of situation there, where they're a thing that could potentially be a problem that you want to shoot, but I don't know that you spend time hunting them. How are we doing frames-wise? I think we might just stick with this bitrate. I'm sure the stream's not as high quality as I would like, but I'd rather smooth and a little blurry than crisp and jumpy. Good thing we did have a big red fox, by the way, because the Grizzlies have been a little subpar thus far. What is the best reserve? That's entirely down to personal preference, but for me, my favorite is Leighton Lakes. I quite like antler species. The variety in antlers and stuff, it's just my favorite thing to go after in any hunting game, really. Leighton, even though it's one of the base game maps, still has the most. Blacktail, moose, Roosevelt elk, and whitetail all have antlers on that map. Rattlers are? Maybe that could work. Crisp and jumpy, I like my fish and chips. Yes. Oh no, how do we get over there? Can I jump across right here, maybe? It's a little deep. Where are the areas for male grizzly spawns? Okay, so we talked about this in that video the other day. I didn't know I could go through there. I don't know as far as like initial spawn stuff goes, because I've shot so many grizzlies on my map that I get males basically everywhere. But if you were to start out, males, I tend to find a bunch up here in the north. I had pretty good success in this Stone Hollow Basin area. And these little lakes down through Red Rock Ascent, is that how you say that? Pretty sure. Get anything good? A diamond red fox, one of our best kills in a while. How far are we from the edge here? Let's just go backwards about like 50 meters just to make sure that anything on the edge will have spawned in, and then we'll go to there. In your opinion, what is the worst map? I hate to name a word because I do like them all. For me, it's Medved or Hirsch. Hirsch has better views, even though Medved is quite stunning as well with the snow. I think I prefer Medved's animals a little bit more, especially given that it's got more unique ones now. Reindeer, brown bear, musk deer. Is that it? I feel like there's one other unique one. Because moose are on other maps, wild boar are on other maps. What am I missing? There's something else there. Lynx. So there's 4 unique ones. Hirsch, I think, is down to like just European bison as unique species. So I'm going to go with Hirsch just for that. Do you move your tents around for different species or just leave them where they're at? I leave them. I mean, this was brought up earlier, but I have the in-game cash to just, you know, buy enough for every map and leave them there. Moving them is not a big deal, obviously. As far as collecting them, you just fast travel around to each tent and pick them up. And then, naturally, as you place them, that may take some time. But, yeah, for me, it's just, I would rather purchase the new ones and place them on the next map that I'm headed towards. So it is 3:49. All grizzly bear, in theory, should be in their drink zones by now. Not seeing any males just yet. So I thought... Is it this lake? Or no, it's actually this lake, I think, that's loaded with grizzly. Maybe this one's not as good. The good news is we do have a tent here, so we can maybe come back like at the end of this little lake run we're doing, and if we have to, we can get whatever we're missing. So I'm not sure if it's the next lake or the one after that is where we had the albino on Saturday's video, I think it was. What is your favorite rare? Favorite rare that I've shot? The Albino Diamond Moose is very special, because back then, you know, you didn't see super rares posted as often. Diamonds were still much more of a rare commodity, to use the phrase. Gotta say though, recency bias may be coming into play here. The Piebald Diamond Gray Fox. Since shooting my Albino Diamond Moose, there's been probably at least a dozen, if not dozens, of super rare moose posted in the community. I know there's only been like 4 months since the Piebald Diamond Gray Fox, but I've not seen any other super rare Gray Fox posted, so it's kind of special in that way. Got trolled by level 5 Pronghorn? That's no good. Oh, Max Score Blue Wildebeest is cool. I've never had one. I've had max weight twice, but never max score. I got trolled by a Pronghorn by accident recently. I didn't know it was a 5. Messed up the shot and everything, but it was a troll. Best way to make... Oh my goodness. That is very loud with the window open. Hold on. I'll shut that. Okay. Anyway. The best way to make the most money in the least amount of time is goose hunting. If you have the Wild Goose Chase DLC, it's fantastic. That's still loud, but it's not as bad. Air raid. It's just the fire siren, by the way. It's not a tornado siren or anything. Probably spontaneous combustion, too, as hot as it is today. I'm sitting here, like, literally I'm sitting here. I'm playing a video game and I'm sweating. Somebody help. I thought that was here. I'm sorry. Biggest fallow deer? 270.5? Or something? Are there max weight animals in Classic? Yes. But they're not like Call of the Wild, in that you won't have a, you know, max score whitetail, for instance, doesn't mean it's going to be a diamond, or max weight. Did I say max score? There is no max score in Classic. Max weight whitetail could be a very small one in Classic, versus in Call of the Wild, max weight's going to be, generally speaking, a diamond. You can get trolled by a max weight, but it's going to have a diamond rack that's wonky if you get trolled. I'm thinking about doing a video on that sometime soon, because there's still some confusion around, like, how weight and score correlates in Call of the Wild. And you'll hear it, and I'm not trying to say that the devs or community managers are incorrect. You'll hear that weight has nothing to do with score. Technically, that may be correct. However, you're never going to see a diamond whitetail below like 92 kg or something. There's a certain threshold to get a particular rack, and because of true racks, you can end up with a very high score or very low score for that particular rack, but you're never going to get beyond certain points. So, again, like, we'll go to, I guess Blacktail will be the next example. Probably 89, 90 kg. Below that, you're never going to see a diamond. Versus in Classic, you could get, you know, a top of the leaderboard's animal, for comparison's sake, a diamond in Classic terms, with, say for whitetail, 70 to 85 estimate or something like that. Alright, opening the window again. It is way too hot in here to not. Oh my god, that's a tree. Poor Shadow got her toe half stepped on there and scared her awake. Goodness. What was that noise outside? It's the fire siren. I don't know why it sounds like that, but it's horrible. I used to live in my apartment. I mean, I was not probably 250 yards straight across or less from where the actual siren was. It was louder, but it didn't have that deep, crazy, almost like ominous sound to it. It was much more high-pitched. This is just this... I mean, it sounds like the world's ending. What kind of dog you have? A very needy pup. Blue Heeler, we think Border Collie mix. The Blue Heeler part's definite. The Border Collie's our best guess. You heard the same noise, but real life? Maybe we do live next to each other. Who knows? Best penetration rifle for red deer grinding. So you're going to have to consider that you want for red deer grinding something with a high capacity. So we got to roll the 7mm out, even though it's probably the best. If we look at the ammo stats here, 7mm has 40 penetration. That was a male. And we'll go see if we can see it. 7 So yeah, 7 mil has 40, 303 also has 40, 308, 42. I didn't know the 308 was higher. And then 30-06 is going to be also 40. I wasn't aware they were on par with the 7 mil. I would still argue the 7 mil is a little more powerful, but I guess 308. I didn't know that. Are you on Medvid? We're on Yukon. Dear Slayer, thank you for the super chat and the sticker. I like that one. I don't know if I've seen that before. Yeah, we'll probably end up doing it, Danny, at some point. I'd like to know. She's a very pretty pup with her white fur going far up her front legs. Not so rare, we'll let it go. Spending $100 is difficult for something that really only allows you to answer questions. I don't know, it could potentially be valuable to know exactly what it is for things that are maybe species specific, or breed specific. I don't know if there are like diseases or anything that are breed specific, but if there are, could be good. There we go. Solid bear. Level 7 would be a guaranteed gold anyway. Do you play on console? I have the game on Xbox, but especially since Kyla got it on PC, I really don't play. I mean, we don't use our Xbox at all, really. The only reason I even still have it is it might be a good kind of guest room situation for that TV. If guests ever want to, I don't know, use the Xbox app for YouTube or something, but I'm pretty sure that TV has it anyway. I don't know. Getting into unnecessary details. Yeah, I heard the sirens too. Chocolate can kill doggies? You know those, I feel like they're candies you really only ever see for Easter. They're called robin eggs. They're like a malt chocolate thing. Kyla had a couple of those. I got her some for Easter. And she was at her desk across the room, and I was like, hey, throw me one. And I dropped it when she threw it. Shadow grabbed it and went flying down the stairs, because that's what she does as soon as she gets a hold of anything. She just sprints away, because she knows we're going to try to take it. And, not gonna lie, I was kind of full-blown panic. I was like, I don't know how much chocolate can kill a dog. This probably wouldn't, but I don't really want to risk it. So I was just like running her down, trying to go get it from her. Luckily, all she did was like lick the coating from the outside off, so she was fine. Honestly, Kyla, I bet it's a fire of some kind. People would most likely be out having campfires. Nice, Carter. Are they made by Whoppers? I don't know if they are. It would make sense. It's essentially the same thing. They also make those as bubblegum. I did not know that. Learned something new. Yeah, David, Shadow likes socks too. So I bought these, like, I think they were $18. Is it Hodgman? Is that the brand? Just little chest waders that are, I didn't expect them to last a long time, but I thought I'd get more than one trip out of them. Both sides ended up having a leak in a like 2-hour fishing trip. One up by my knee, I think on my right side, then one at like the ankle on the left side. So that was annoying. So I hung my now wet socks and pants on the clothesline outside to let them dry off. And I guess somehow when I took them off the line, one of the socks dropped and I didn't know it. Yeah. Shadow just grabbed it and tore it up, ran all around the yard with it, just got it covered in mud and stuff too, because she kept on rolling around. The yard's always wet. It's a little bit of a wetter area with the creek and mountain springs and such. My puppy loves phones. Shadow likes to, like, paw at phones, but she doesn't mess with them much. That's interesting. She gets so happy when she still stalks. I get the same vibe when she picks up that frisbee. Like, she just holds it high in the air like, look what I got. I have Snoop. It was pretty cool. Bone dry neoprene ones. The only reason that I didn't buy, like, full-on chest waders is because, like, I don't fish in deep water that often. And I have hip waders, which, generally speaking, are good enough for me, but I can't find them. I don't know what I did with them. They were in my... Maybe they're still in my truck. I don't know. They were in my truck for all of last summer, and I'd started moving in September into this house, so my guess is that they were still in the truck then. So they could be in a closet, or like who knows where they ended up in the move. But because I know I had the hip waders, I just figured, yeah, I'll buy these junky chest waders, it'll be fine. Technically I bought 2 pairs, I got one for Kyla too. I don't know that we'll use them. What's up, Billy? Look at Danny on that command. Did we get that bear good enough to bring it down? I'm not too worried about tracking it. If we did not. There's blood everywhere from like feed zones and stuff. I don't think we hit him very good. I know we did hit him because I saw him turn. Small fox. Common fox. We'll just keep on going. That was actually the other thing, David, and I don't know how to go about it yet. I might end up buying another pair for that, and I've been talking to G-Man about this. Back in the area where I shot my buck, well, where the buck came from, not where I shot him from, he walked out of there a bit. There's a couple of good trails, so much cover that any smart deer would want to live in there, basically. And I could see from all the rubs in there that he did live there. There's a couple of trees that would make that area huntable, but I'm a little, after talking to G-Man, I'm a little apprehensive. Maybe I shouldn't even hang a stand there because it's going to tempt me to hunt there more than I should. I think with a perfect wind, it would be feasible to hunt there because I can get there nearly silently. Especially walking along the creek, which is what I'd be doing. That's going to mask a lot of my sound. But, in order to do it ideally, I'd have to cross the creek. I have to cross the creek a couple of times, and I guess I would want waders of some sort, but then I'd have to like pack boots in or something, because waders usually aren't the warmest thing to sit still. I haven't decided on that yet, but that's something I do need to consider, kind of for that same reason. Are there no bears here? This is like one of the best bear lakes in multiplayer. Nope, there's one bear here. Hiding. Better than Crick? What is wrong with Crick? It's a Crick. The only reason I say Creek is because you people yell at me for Radiator, so I've gone to Creek before I get yelled at for Crick. You people. Gotta love them queeks. I'm gonna go fishing in the creek later. Catch some queek jumps. What has happened to me? Well, I guess we'll go see if we can push him around the end. I don't know where he went. You people? Yes. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I remember the issue. There were some, because I'm always on Facebook Marketplace, just scrolling. Rarely ever buying anything. Last time I did, my order got canceled anyway. But, there were a pair of neoprene ones. It said, like, medium, which is probably my size. And I think they were, like, 15 bucks. But the person said no leaks, ... no guarantees. So I don't know if it's worth the investment. Because if they leak, they're useless to me. Especially for hunting. Like, you get this time of year, your waders leak. You know, maybe a little bit cold feet, but it's not that big a deal. Hunting season, it's a pretty big deal if your feet get wet. So I don't know if I should trust that or not. Maybe that's an investment I'll make, though, before the season. I really want to hunt down in there. Like I said, I'm not sure I should, but I don't know. It's tough, especially when I want to kill a big buck with a bow. I think that's probably the most likely place I could do it. We shall see. Well, it's 4:49. I want to save this good area for when it's light. Where have we not been? We haven't gone down this finger yet. Let's go do that. Do you... I assume you're asking if I hunt in real life? I do. I wish this was a Twitch stream or else I'd clip it. What, me saying queek? There are... You can clip things on YouTube streams, I think. I know you can. Maybe not on mobile. Bottom Boy had clipped a crazy heart shot thing I did one time. Don't hear a crick in New England? I bet not. I should go bear hunting in real life? I'm considering getting a bear tag, so there's 2 reasons. I've never seen a bear while hunting in real life, ever. Now, I've not actually been bear hunting, but I've hunted during bear season. The deer and bear archery season, I think, cross. But I've never actually seen a bear while out. That said, the bear that walked through the property the other day walked right past where I want to put one of my stands, and that particular stand is meant to be my, you know, there's no perfect wind, or it's not the time of year to go into my good spots yet, so I'm just going to stay here and see what happens type of stand. So most likely where I'm going to be a good bit. I might just buy a bear tag in case that bear decides to walk that same area. I'd shoot one. Apparently they're good eating. It's just, I don't like the way they're hunted in the rifle or firearm season here. It's like 20-man drives, and it just doesn't even feel sporting to me. Use creek for water and crick is a pain in your neck? If you just use crick for both, there's no confusion. I don't know if I want to or not, Lunar. I've seen some incredible grizzly hunts from real life, but I just don't know. It's one of those things. If things go wrong, it can be bad. Can you bait MPA for bear? No. You cannot. I personally believe that in terms of the ethicality, is that the best way to describe it? I think baiting would be more ethical than some of the drives that are put on for PA bears, but probably that would result in too many bears getting shot and the population dwindling. So I understand, you know, why some things are legal and some things aren't, but yeah, like I said, I've heard stories like 4 or 5 different guys shooting the same bear like that. I don't know. If you're into that, if you enjoy it, more power to you, but for me, I just can't. What's up, Kevin? Heard it depends on what the bear's been eating. True. Apparently coastal bears taste terrible. Eating fish and stuff, which actually, maybe a bear here would taste terrible because it would probably be eating fish out of the creek. I said creek, Kyle. I hope you're proud of me. What is the rarest rare? I think melanistic red fox is up there quite a bit. Melanistic wild boar is very rare. Melanistic red deer is very rare. I don't know what is the rarest. Yeah, that definitely makes sense, David. I know a guy, I actually don't personally know him. I don't even know why we're Facebook friends, but he hunts, so I guess we just stayed Facebook friends. I'm pretty sure he might have gone to the same college as me. I really have no idea. He sent me a friend request, and I was like, okay. Anyway, point being, he lives in one of the units in PA where the opening day of deer rifle is still bear firearm season. It's not like that here. He ended up shooting a bear that came by. I think that'd be pretty cool if I had that opportunity, but I don't even know if I could. Rifle season for deer for me is just like this magic time of year where, I mean, magic is the only way I can say it. Nothing compares to like opening day of firearms. I don't think I could shoot one walking past. It's like you saw a ghost smell. I've seen probably 10 in my life. There was a sow and 3 cubs at my camp one time that we saw out the camper window. I remember one. My brother and I were picking raspberries in the summer, and we were walking out past my aunt's house, heading back home, and she yells and says, "There's a deer down there." So, at this time in my brother and I's lives, if we saw a deer, we ran at it. I don't know why, but all we ever wanted to do was touch a deer. I guess that's just a kid thing. I remember, side story here, one time we set it up so that I was going to chase them towards the woods and he was going to run out and touch it, and he must have been like 3 feet away. He was so close, like arms outstretched trying to reach this deer. Anyway, my aunt yells, "There's a deer down there," so we take off out across the field to try to catch it. We misheard her. She said there's a bear down there. It comes running up into the field. My brother and I turn, spin the other way. Neither of us dropped our raspberries, by the way. We couldn't possibly be dropping our hard work. It was probably like 80 yards away, but it was far too scared to worry about us. There was a big one time that was hanging around that my brother and I saw on a four-wheeler one night. A really big one walked through the field one time that I saw from the house. Never one while hunting though. In all my years, all the hours I've spent in tree stands, you know, being still and quiet, never seen a bear out then. Favorite weapon for the ducks? I guess you're asking AR-22 versus the Virant? I'd actually go with the Virant. Larger capacity, 10 rounds versus 5. And the other side of it is it can double as a way to potentially get a better shot angle for animals. So I'm not sure if you've heard of us reference the 22 strat. Basically, if an animal's beyond about 150 meters, you can shoot near them with a 22, and they won't spook, they'll actually just go alert. So let's say they're walking away from you, and you shoot near them. They'll usually turn and kind of look around for a bit, and it often gives you a chance to get a shot off before they end up fleeing. Virant's better in every way. I think the AR does have a better fire rate, but it's rare that matters. Thank you, Thunder. There's a moose at a cabin with my family. I tried to see, but it was gone. Apparently it ran by them or at them. That'd be a little bit scary. I don't think I've ever seen a moose. I'd like to. Nearly been knocked over by a rutting roe. I've had a couple get pretty close to me. Never had one get close enough that I was worried about being run over. Not roe deer, obviously. Do you believe in skinwalkers? I don't even know what they are entirely. Like, I've heard of them, but I don't even know what the concept is or whatever. If you're in multiplayer and classic, is it possible to do drives for big game? Yeah, we used to do a bunch. Whiteheart Island. See, here's the thing about drives in classic, though. They're not drives in the traditional sense of like a real-life drive. They're like, you find an area of the map that comes to like a point, and then it's surrounded by water, so there's nowhere they can go. At least this is normally what's done for drives. And you have like 8 people go running or walking down towards that point, shooting their guns to spook everything down that direction. And then they're all running in circles and you shoot them then. That's why I don't do it much. Now we have set up drives that, you know, push animals past what you would call posters or sitters, or standers. Those aren't going to result in nearly as many animals, but yeah, it can work. Much better than Call of the Wild because their fleeing paths aren't as predictable. Have you ever shot a moose in real life? I've never seen a moose, actually. Moose hunting is something I'd like to do, but it's also one of those things where I don't know exactly how to go about it because I'd need like a big group, obviously, because I am not getting a moose out of anywhere by myself, unless it's reachable with a vehicle. Snakehead, thank you again, man. I find it interesting that when it comes to bears, some places will measure the weight, while some, like where I live, measure the height. I never knew anybody measured the height. I hear they measure weight. Obviously, like, the score is where the Boone and Crockett stuff comes in with the skull, but I never knew of measuring height. That's interesting. What music do you use in the background of your videos? It's from Epidemic Sound. I hate that I don't know the names of the songs. So they used to be called, on Epidemic Sound, Happy Folk Guitar, and it was like 1 through 18. There were a bunch. Epidemic Sound got an update, and the songs have actual titles now. And because I downloaded them long ago, in my PC they're known as Happy Folk Guitar, and I just use them that way. I don't know what to search by their titles now. Been charged by a bear and I've had to stand up with a bull moose one time in Algonquin Park when a bunch of stupid tourists were trying to get closer for pictures. Yeah, unfortunately that's a common theme. Would you play with me on PlayStation? I actually don't own a PlayStation, unfortunately. Would you ever go hunting in Africa? So actually, as far as I know, COVID kind of derailed the whole thing. I was offered the opportunity to go hunt in Africa and I turned it down. I don't know. I understand that, like, for a lot of people that's kind of a dream hunt and stuff, but I don't know if that kind of hunting is for me. In games and stuff, absolutely, but it's just different. It's a different style of hunting than what I'm used to, and I'm not sure if it would be everything that I would hope it would be. Maybe one day, but at least not at this stage. I saw those post cave, and that's nuts. I think I've only ever shot one melanistic Euro bison ever, if I'm not mistaken, and it was very early on. Leighton and Hirsch were still the only two maps at that time. Are you going to do a Great One Whitetail grind for Great One Whitetail number 2? Maybe. Originally, and it was meant to be about now, I was going to start a second one, because either I was supposed to be in Georgia with Kyla right about now, but I ended up staying home to watch the puppy because she is a very anxious puppy. Or the other thing was I was maybe going to go to West Virginia to hunt turkeys with Bottom Boy. That, for basically the same reason, also fell through. So I ended up not starting that grind because basically it was going to be a good way to prep some content. But it ended up being more or less unnecessary. So I guess I'll save it till I maybe have to prep some stuff. I may still go hunt turkeys somewhere. I don't know, maybe when Kyla gets back, but as of now, I don't really have any plans, so I'm kind of just sitting on that idea. Snakehead, thank you again for the super chat. Here, if you ask someone how big their bear was, they'll say 7 foot or something. How do they measure them? Is it like toe to toe, hanging vertical, or is it nose to tail? I feel like 7 foot would be nuts, nose to tail. Actually, you know what? No, I've heard of grizzly bears, like 11-foot grizzlies. I've never heard of that for black bear, though. Now that I'm actually thinking of it, I have heard of it with, like, grizzly and brown bear. How many diamond grizzlies have you killed? So my first one was like a 951 or 953 on the old system. I've had 2 max weight ones that weren't max score. Did I just kill one recently? I think I did. Or no, I had a troll one on Kyla's map. I still think I had at least one other, probably like 4 or 5. Do you play on console? Almost never these days. I used to play with Kyla on console a decent amount when she had the game on Xbox, but since she's gotten it on PC, if we play is usually on PC for obvious reasons. Much easier for me to record anything that might happen. You're a great YouTuber. You, Scarecrow, and KC are my favorite YouTubers of all time. Well, thank you, man. Glad to share such an honor. Shot a Troll 5 caribou. They're the worst, aren't they? Caribou and reindeer, and especially caribou. It seems like they're far more rare to find a 5. It's unfortunate. Blackbirds are about 8 feet tall. I wouldn't have expected them to be that big. That's quite large. It's been the opposite of that here, David. We had snow the day I took Kyla to the airport, so the 20th, I think. And then the last 3 days, so... what, I guess 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, it's been 80 or higher. Like, how you go from snow and ice to 80s. Weather's just weird. No worries, Scott. We're going to be done here in about 10 minutes. Probably won't be missing much. Forgot that I'm going the extra, like, 3 because I took Shadow out for a bit. All these female bears. We were doing good earlier. We were finding males everywhere, but kind of got into all the females now. Yeah, okay. Wanted to make sure that we had 10 minutes of Grizzly drink time left. Thoughts about the new map they're making for Call of the Wild? It's hard to speculate on it right now. Assuming that is actually a hint in the official Discord. Tough to say what that might be, if anything. It looks like Hirsch, and it could be just about anywhere that's a temperate environment. Do you have an Instagram? I do. Flinter Gaming on Instagram. You did get burnt? Awkward. Don't worry, me too. I'll be lucky if it's faded to tan by the time you get here. I'm a glowing red boyo. Anyway, my Instagram primarily consists of puppy pics and like random outside stuff, whether it's hanging trail cameras or if we go camping or fishing or anything like that. Got my first time in caribou today. Max weight and score, you must mean 459, I guess, 0.8. You use sunscreen and got burned? I didn't even use sunscreen, I was stupid. I went fishing with a coat on, and then it got hot, and I took my coat off, and I was wearing a sleeveless shirt like an idiot. And now I'm charred. Are we getting a new reserve? Even if the thing posted in the Discord is not an actual hint, I would say it's inevitable that we're getting a new reserve, because generally speaking we see a new one basically middle of June and early December every year. So regardless of whether or not that particular thing is a hint, I think we're going to see one before long. Yes, my buck is on Instagram as well. The better picture is on Instagram. Actually, I guess it's the same picture that's in Discord, but T is on Instagram. My most liked post ever, which is, I guess, to be expected, but pretty cool. Favorite trophy from Call of the Wild? I was talking about this earlier, like, the Albino Diamond Moose and the 1000 Diamond Coyote that I got early on are special because it was so rare to find diamonds and max score diamonds and stuff back then. As far as, you know, actual odds of it showing up or something along those lines, I think my Piebald Diamond Gray Fox. I've mentioned this before, I still have not seen another super rare Gray Fox posted anywhere. That's not to say they don't exist, but I still haven't seen anyone post one in the Discord, which kind of makes me believe that maybe the one I got is actually, you know, extremely rare to come by. Thoughts on a new African map? I'm hoping to see a new African map sometime soon. I feel like, and I mention this all the time, Virunga Savannah is still one of the most popular maps, despite the fact that it's coming up on 4 years old. To me, that's evidence enough that we need another Africa map. Snakehead, thank you again. Not really sure, but they measure nose to tail, then they measure the front. There's videos that explain it better than I can. Okay. See if I can find one then. George, thank you as well. Appreciate the super chat. How would you feel about a Scotland map? I'm not extremely familiar with hunting in Scotland and like what you can hunt there, but I do know at least there's like red deer, red fox, roe deer. If there's enough like new unique species, then I'm all for it. And that's the case with anything. It doesn't matter where the you know, the location is. If it's got new species and some unique terrain and stuff, I'm all for it. Deer Slayer, thank you for the super chat as well. I appreciate you. There's our duck. I was wondering if it sank to the bottom or something. What do you want the next map to be? Well, I've been wanting it to be that Africa 2.0 sort of that we just talked about, another Africa map. What I'm saying, if that is a clue and not a picture of Hirschfelden in some unknown area, is clearly not Africa. So I guess I don't even know what I'm hoping for now. I'm glad to hear that, Nocturnal Angler, and I'll do my best. Thanks, Thunder. I don't post there often. Usually, like, I'll do something and Kyla's like, post that to Instagram. Alright. I don't think through that lens very often. I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, I don't do anything. I don't take pictures specifically to post on Instagram almost ever. It's the type of thing, like, where I take a picture and later I'm like, yeah, that could be posted. I should have, had I thought of it, I would have taken a picture of the black bear track that I saw to post them and just be like, oh look, another animal that's been on this property. Maybe if it walked past one of the trail cams. It doesn't appear as if it did, but it's possible. Maybe because the snow had pretty well melted by the time I saw them. Maybe he went somewhere through that got him on camera. What I need to do, Kyla, is get that trail camera video of the raccoon and just post it there. It's so cool. One of my favorite trail cam things we've got outside of the big male, obviously. Do trophy ratings max out like animal weights? For non-Truax species, there are max scores. For anything with Truax, so At this point, anything with antlers and some species with horns. There is no true max. Now, there's a theoretical max. And what I mean by that is, like, for fallow deer, for instance, you're never going to see a 280. They will not get above about 276, it seems. But there's no max score to go on. Now, I've seen a couple of 276 posted, never 276 point anything. That might be the max score for true axe, but then again, it's possible that maybe one time being a little bit longer and you have 276.1, you know? That is the point of true axe. I was out at my cousin's place for a bonfire last night. Had 2 wood ducks fly through the trees like 10 yards from us. Probably could have tossed a stick and got one. I loved it. I didn't even realize that was a male fox. I love to see ducks flying by here. I can't identify them normally. Mallards are the only ones I can look at and say, hey, that's a mallard. But, there's probably been like 4 or 5 different species. I just saw today. I was going for a walk through the woods with Shadow to try to get her worn out before I was going to record earlier. There were 2 geese that flew by, and I could hear them, obviously. And then, while I'm looking for them, I saw 2 ducks fly underneath them. And they're like they almost look like harlequin ducks, but I don't think we have harlequin ducks, so I don't know what they'd be. Kind of like black in color with that whitish strip up by the eye. Do you ever trap animals? We did some trapping when I was younger. It's not something I do much. I might get, for 2022-2023 license year, a fur bear's license to trap beavers. They're building dams pretty close to the house, and they're going to end up flooding the yard, I think. So it might be a necessity, but we'll see. If this bear stops, we'll try to get him, and then head back to the trophy lodge and place our fox. Wood ducks, maybe? I just don't know. Danny, get out of here. That's not what I meant. Teal? Hooded whatever the heck? I mean, for all I know, it could be. All I know is they were darker in color and smaller than a mallard, which I know wood ducks are like that. I think we have teal of some kind here in PA too, but I don't know what kind. Remember that 22 strat I mentioned earlier? I think we're going to have to use that here. Ooh, he turned right when we shot. We almost hit him. Think that'll do the trick. Maybe. He's not going down. Did that get him? He's dying. Yeah, one of the shots got him. They were blue-winged teal? I think that is the one that I've heard of. Beaver trapping's fun. So here's the thing. I know a lot of beaver trapping consists of drowning the beaver in the trap, and I don't like that at all. So whatever potential beaver trapping I do will not be that. That, again, as I was talking about something else earlier, if you do that, I'm not saying I have an issue with it, but I just couldn't do it personally. So I don't know how I'm going to come up with it yet, but if there's a couple of dams in place, it probably wouldn't be too hard to figure it out. When's your next video? Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, so we'll be dropping it this time tomorrow. It's going to be a classic hunt. There's a pretty cool kill in that one, too. Something I've probably not shot in, 5, 6 years. Maybe more than that. It'd be about 6 years, actually. Have you ever shot a rabbit in real life? No, actually. I never have. Didn't he have them drowning, Danny? With those traps? Gold albino, no such luck getting a gold albino today. I was hoping to get an albino with a gold score, if you're asking what I mean by that. Just an albino that scores gold medal. No luck getting one. We tried. We did kill a diamond red fox, though, which is pretty dang good. Nice, Ben. Is it as easy as Red Dead makes it look for skinning rabbits? Can you change your gamer tag in Classic? Yes, actually. If you... I think you gotta contact the support team and submit like a change of name ticket or something. I did not, Danny, but I had an excuse, actually. There were competitions running for Coyotes and Bobcat, and I had my weapon loadout for that. Chest says hi. What's going on? Hope you guys are enjoying your, I assume, quite warm day from what I heard. Can you tell if a call or track is male or female? Yes. If you go into your skills, stalker here, you have to have at least one skill point bot in tier 0 to unlock tier 1. And then from track knowledge, you see level 1 there reveals information about animals' gender when investigating footprints and vocalizations. That is the information you're looking for. I've used the 17 HMR in that series already, Danny, so I can't. At least with my own rules. So I don't know what we're going to do with the other Diamond Red Fox, but for now, because I'm not sure what to do with it, we're just going to take it down and put our new one in here. Old Diamond Red Fox is 14.1, so today's is in fact bigger. Same fur type, ironically enough. December 18th is probably when we need to look for in the trophy manager. Start scrolling a little bit. There we go. What's it called? Foxy Foes? There we go. So dismantle that. Then go into multi-mounts. Find that again. Got Mr. Piebald Diamond Gray Fox. Mr. 14.357 Diamond from today. Place that. Is that the same? This dark red looks different, but maybe it's just the angle. I wish, and I'm pretty sure this plaque isn't the smallest possible they could fit on, but I wish, like, this is the only way to really get them to fill the plaque well, is like these poses. So I usually do that. Or platform, not plaque, but cool. Diamond Red Fox in single player, one thing that I have been wanting to get, and certainly did not expect to get today. Pretty nice. She said it's toasty, but we'll enjoy it more on the boat. I bet. Are you guys getting to go tonight? I hope so, at least. Elijah's so sick. Thank you, man. In about a month, I'm going to do another tour of it. I'm thinking about, and I'm curious, maybe I'll put a poll up or something to see what you guys want to see from it. So what if I did, like, room by room? It'd have to be, like, 5 videos. Maybe I could do 3 videos and do chunks. But, like, you know, going through this room, I could show, like, a clip of the great one being shot, or both great ones being shot. Or, you know, what's another? See if I broke it up into segments, did like 1 a week. That might be a way to do it. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll see. Anyway, heading out. Cool, Kyla. Glad you guys are getting to go. Will killing a doe spawn a buck? No. Only bucks will respawn as bucks. You can never shoot a doe that's going to respawn as a buck. You can never shoot a buck that's going to respawn as a doe. Anyway. No albino gold grizzlies, plenty of grizzlies shot to hopefully respawn as one. And we got a diamond red fox. Definitely not a bad way to wrap up a stream, but that is officially going to do it. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And I will see you in tomorrow's classic video. Bye.